Hey guys, how is everyone doing today? My name is Peter Gantner. I am the founder and CEO of KulaBrands. What is KulaBrands? KulaBrands is a new patent pending innovative business model that's based on collaboration. Give you a little bit of background on myself. I am a lifelong entrepreneur. I absolutely love the process of business, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, all wrapped together in business. So I've built traditional businesses, had success, been in Forbes magazine, the Wall Street Journal. One of our products was in 60 million Happy Meals, and in the toy industry, that's like winning the Academy Award. So we've had great success there as well. I got involved in the home-based business industry. Love the whole thought of it, where you could start for a few $100s, $1,000, start a business and just go out and share it with people, and was very successful there. Built teams of thousands of people and had success in that industry as well, but got really frustrated about the industry because of the small percentage of people that actually created success. So I'm not going to say that people don't have success in the home-based business industry. It was just such a small percentage of it. And the people, at least, that I was bringing in were people that I knew. I had relationships with my mom and sister and friends and family members and stuff like that. I just wanted a bigger percentage of those people to have success. And that's what we're going to talk about today is KulaBrands. We've literally reinvented the entire industry. And what I set out to do was to come up with a concept where more people would make money. And what we ended up launching was something where everyone could make money. And in order to be able to do that, I knew there was one piece that I had to kind of remove out of the equation. It was the hardest one to do, especially for like my mom, is recruiting. I had to come up with a model that did not require any recruiting. And I'm going to share that with you today. I want to also introduce you to Doug Kyle. He's the other founder of the company, also very successful in business. Built up an insurance agency, sold it off in his 40s and was able to retire. Eventually came back and got back into work and business, but has been very successful as well in the home-based business industry. Built teams of over 4,000 people. So we've got a lot of experience in both the traditional world and in the home-based business industry. And then, of course, we have Mr. Jeff Hoffman. Jeff's first company started when he was 25, sold it at 28 years old for over $100 million. As well, was very instrumental in helping start Priceline.com, Color Jar, and, of course, KulaBrands as well. He's an advisor to us, and he sits on our board. So a very successful businessman. He's won Entrepreneur of the Year award. He is a spokesperson or on business for the UN, for presidents. So just lots of different stuff that he's done out in the industry. He's well known. He's actually written a book too called Scale. It's about scaling up your business. So we've got a great team of people. So what is KulaBrands and what is our patent based on? Well, when I sat down and said, hey, I want to reinvent the home-based business industry and create a model where most people or more people could succeed, I thought if I could earn any type of income out there in the world, what would it be? And I thought royalties. Wouldn't it be great to be like a Michael Jackson or an Elvis Presley or, the actors that are out there, right, that just continue to get money that keep coming in even when they're not working, right? And a matter of fact, in Michael Jackson's case, even after he's passed away, his estate still continues to collect money on the work that he did 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And so I thought, is there a way to make it where people could massive amounts of people could collect royalties? Because as you know, royalties are usually done on somebody creates a piece of work, whether it's an invention, a song, write a book, act in something. And then every time that piece of whatever they created generates income, they get a percentage of that. Well, I did come up with a way and figured out a way because I realized that there's a group of people over here, and we're going to talk about two groups of people. We're going to talk about the group that you may be in, both of them, but let's say you're here and you're saying, I'd like to build some lifelong residual income. So you're over here in this group, and these are people that have gotten in the home-based business industry. They bought courses, online marketing, and they're just trying to figure out a way to make that additional $100, $1,000, $10,000 a month that would keep coming in, that would give them some freedom, especially in the millennial generation, right? 76% of millennials want to create income that keeps coming in when they're not having to work, when they're out experiencing and enjoying life. So there's that group over here. And then there's a group over here, and I was basically in both of these groups, who have ideas and this creativity. And we've tried to go the traditional routes and find wealthy people, and we're going to talk about all this stuff today to support and back our ideas, but it's very hard to do. And so there's this group over here of people who have ideas and stuff, and they just need the help. They just need the resources to take their products to the marketplace, and they can build some of the most successful companies on the planet in all different areas, in all different ways. And my idea was, why not let this group over here that wants to build residual income help this group over here get their projects launched? Now, don't jump off, because we're not talking about investing in businesses, okay? We do not invest in businesses. We've come up with a very unique way of helping these people launch their businesses. As a matter of fact, it is so unique that we've actually filed for a patent on this business model, because no one had ever done anything like this. See, what I realized is there's three things that entrepreneurs need. And we, a community of people, the community of KulaBrands, can provide these three things, okay? And what do we get for providing it? Royalties. So what is a reverse royalty? It's royalty for the masses. A reverse royalty is paid by the actor, inventor, or owner of the asset for services rendered by KulaBrands. Now you're thinking, why would they pay a royalty? Because with technology today, smartphones, social media, all the stuff that we need that is out there, right? The technology on that side of it, we can provide everything that an entrepreneur needs in a collaborative model like KulaBrands. And I want to talk about those three things right now. So the first thing they need is money. Now, remember, I said we don't invest, and that is absolutely true. And I'm going to explain to you exactly how we help them with the money. Branding and marketing. It is essential to getting a product going in sales. See, the technology that I just talked about, the Facebooks, the Twitters, the smartphones, all that stuff, there is a way right now where all three of these can be provided through this new technology, through this new stuff, by individuals who come together in a collaborative model. What do I mean by collaborative? It just simply means a whole bunch of people doing very small activities, actions that all add up together to make a big impact. I think the saying is many hands make for light work. Well, many hands here makes for a huge amount of impact on a project in moving forward. So I'm going to talk about these one at a time. First, let's talk about money. I talked about it. So I've gone through this process myself, tried to get money from banks. No. What assets do you have, right? I tried to go raise money from angel investors and VC groups, and the percentage of people that actually end up having success in that area for startups is less than 1% of people. I mean, 100 people go out there and look for money through VCs and angels. Maybe one person will walk away with enough money to launch their dreams. The way that most people and myself have been able to fund our dreams and get projects and get companies up and running is by going into debt, taking a lot of risks, taking our whole savings, working multiple jobs, 18, 20 hours a day and pushing, or maybe borrowing money from friends and family in order to get their project up and running. A matter of fact, if you know Airbnb was actually funded through the three owners having enough credit card they could charge up. They charged up $30,000 on their credit cards in order to get it going. And you know what saved them was? They came up with an idea, and you got to check out this story because it's so cool. They came up with a concept, and they made Obama O cereal and McCain Crunch cereal. And they sold cereal boxes, collectible cereal boxes for the election. And they sold $40,000 worth of these. They sold 1,000 boxes, and they used that money to pay off their credit card debt. And then the company moved on from there. So it's just an interesting story. They had to come up with a creative way to sell something, right? Collectible cereal boxes. So, well, guys, so those were the three ways that were available up till 8 years ago. 8 years ago, somebody came up with this phenomenal concept. I wish it was me, but it wasn't, guys, okay? So, but what we figured out is a better way to do what I'm going to explain to you right now. It's called crowdfunding. I love to call it social funding. It allows everyday people to help entrepreneurs succeed, and the other everyday people get first access to products. You know, everybody loves to be on the cutting edge and get products earlier than everybody else and be able to go, oh, check out my new gadget, right? Well, this allows you to do that. And it's a really simple concept. So the inventor comes up with an idea. They do enough work, get a prototype working and stuff to where they can show that the idea will work. And then they simply share it on a platform. These platforms are Kickstarter, Indiegogo. Some people may have already supported them and didn't realize that they were doing crowdfunding or social funding. And then what happens are people come on and they look at these projects and they read about them and they watch the videos that the people made about them. So they learn information about it and they go, you know what? I want to help that entrepreneur and I want that product. I like it enough that I'm willing to, let's say the product is $50, normally $60 in the store, but you're going to get it for $50 because you're an early adopter and you're going to help out. So I say, I'm willing to pledge $50 towards getting that product down the road. So I simply pre-buy it. Now they have $50 from me. That does not mean their project is going to get done. Let's say in order to do their project, they need $50,000. They can pay the platform. They can make enough product to ship it to all the people who pledged on it. And they can do all their molds and all that stuff, right? So $50,000 is what they need. They would simply get another 999 people outside of myself. And then they would have 1,000 people that prepaid $50. So they would have $50,000. And maybe another 2 or 3 or 500 people might go above that. And they may end up even with more money so they can create a better product. But at least they have to get 1,000 people to give them $50. And then they have the money to do it. I thought it's fantastic. Not only now do I have the money, but I actually have social proof that there are people that are willing to pay for my idea. Guys, being out in the world and having success, being in Forbes Magazine, Wall Street Journal, all the stuff that we've done, people are always coming to me with ideas and they show them to me. And they tell me, oh, my mom likes it, my aunt likes it, my cousin likes it. The key is though, are they willing to buy it, right? Anybody can tell you they don't want to hurt your feelings, right? Oh, your idea is really good, right? So they don't want to hurt your feelings. The way you know that somebody really likes a product is when you show it to them, they go, can I buy one? Here's some money right now. Give it to me when you get it completed. And that's what crowdfunding allows strangers to do, people that don't even know you, to support and back your project. So now the results are tremendously better than anything that I talked about earlier, right? Banks, which are almost always no, 1% for VCs, and then having to go into debt and do that. But however, 64% on the number one platform out there fail to fund, meaning they raise zero money, okay? And some of these projects are only looking for $100 or $500 or $1,000, but they fail to fund completely. And 85% of the ones that do succeed end up raising over $20,000. And some of those projects only raise 100 or 500 or 1,000. And really, even if they hit, let's say 19,000 under the 20,000 mark, that's not enough money to really take a project from a successful crowdfunding project to a successful product in the marketplace. And the reason for this is, and every expert will tell you, matter of fact, go to Google and put in crowdfunding advice or how to crowdfund my project. Every single expert in the field will tell you, if you want to be successful in crowdfunding, you must bring your own crowd with you to the platform. You cannot rely on just Indiegogo or Kickstarter or any of the platforms that are out there. You have to initially go out and find 50, 100, or 200 or 300 people who are going to support your project. It's the number one thing that prevents these people from doing something is the fear that they just don't know how to get started and how to get going. So those are the things that they need. Well, KulaBrands and the KulaBrands community helps in every single area that they need in order to get started. So we know how to get started. We know how to take products to the marketplace, okay? We can help them with the funding, and we do it through what's called reward-based crowdfunding. We help them with branding and marketing, and we help them using the direct sales market, which has been used in the home-based business industry. But now that third one, the direct sales part of it, we do it in a little bit of a different way. We're not a direct sales company that stays in the direct sales market. We're actually a direct sales company that uses it as a bridge to getting things into all sales and distribution channels. I want to talk right now about a couple of the campaigns that we've actually launched. So these are entrepreneurs that we've actually helped through the crowdfunding process and beyond. Because so far we're just talking about helping them get the money. The first one is Len Kenzie. Len became a KulaBrands member, and then we were looking for our first product. And he says, I've got one. We talked about it, and I said, that sounds pretty good. Why don't you build a prototype? And so he started working on it and started building the prototype. See, in the KulaBrands model, instead of going directly to a crowdfunding site, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and trying to spend a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of time building a community. See, the reason why most people do not build a community ahead of time is they're spending a lot of time inventing the product and working on it. They don't have the resources, the money, and the time to build that community ahead of time. I actually just talked to a group of experts in this area. They spend 6 months building an audience prior to launching a crowdfunding campaign and literally spend thousands upon thousands and thousands of dollars getting that audience built prior to launching a campaign. Well, if you're a startup and you're trying to get your company funded, it's difficult enough just to get the product developed, never mind building this crowd ahead of time. So instead of building a crowd, Len brought it to KulaBrands, where we already have a crowd. We already have a community of people that want to do what? Build residual income. And I'm going to explain to you how we tie these together. They want to build residual income. They've already understand that they want to support and help entrepreneurs launch their projects. The second project that you see here is Park Smarts for Kids. Dodie. Dodie is a phenomenal, fantastic person, and she just loves kids. She was a CEO of a publishing company, and that company ended up closing down due to the owner retiring and didn't want to sell the business. And so she said, I know the parks need this. So Park Smarts for Kids is a project that is actually being developed or been developed because Dodie said, if we could get kids to love the national parks when they're children, then when they become adults, they'd want to take care of them, right? So it's a process to help protect and save our national parks. Well, she developed this prior to coming to KulaBrands, becoming a member. And she had tried to take it to the marketplace. Matter of fact, she even tried to do crowdfunding the regular way, where you just take your project and take it to a crowdfunding platform. She ended up, from all of her friends and family and everybody to support the project, she raised about $700 on her own. Not enough to take the project to any type of heights or really get it going. This time, she said, I'm not going to another crowdfunding campaign myself directly first. I'm going to bring it to KulaBrands. And the KulaBrands people looked at the project and we said, hey, we want to save our national parks. We'd love to have our parks be around in 100 years. So we want to educate kids on it. So we decided to support the project. As a matter of fact, initially she was looking for about $10,000. Our community stepped up and said, we'll support it with $10,000. It ended up raising, because once it went to our community, then we took it to Kickstarter. We took it to a major crowdfunding platform. Ended up raising over $30,000. I want you to think about this, guys. $700 by herself. Did a lot of work ahead of time, setting things up and getting things going, but only hit $700. With us, went to the crowdfunding campaign or platform with $10,000 and ended up raising $30,000. Okay, let's talk about now. Let's go back to Zip and Store. Len only had the idea. He developed the product. We showed it to the community. The community actually loved it so much, $50,000, about $58,000 in pledges. But because of our community's early support, he ended up raising $152,000 through crowdfunding, more than enough money to do the tooling and get the company up and running and moving forward. So why is it that it is so important? Why does every expert say you must build your own community ahead of time? It's because of social proof. I want to explain it to you in a way that I think a lot of people understand. is when you go to YouTube, have you ever YouTubed a video? So I have a Samsung 8 here, right? So when I got the phone, I went on there and I put in, I needed to figure out how to do some stuff. So I went, how to use my Samsung 8, and a whole bunch of videos came up. And one had over 10,000 views. One had, 3,000 views. And there were a few that only had like 30 views and 70 views and 80 views. Which one do you think I clicked on? The first one I clicked on was the one that had over 10,000 views. Why? Because the most people had looked at it. So optimally, because of the, the fact that more people had watched it, it must be the video with the best information in it, right? Social proof. And the same thing happens in crowdfunding. There are literally at any given time thousands of projects up on any of these crowdfunding sites. How do you know which one to go to? You go to the ones that are either have some funding or have all the way funded on that project, because those are the ones that must be interesting because other people think they're interesting. So that's the phenomena. That's what we provide to the inventors. And who are these inventors? Rob with MobiCard, Len, Dodie on Park Smarts for Kids, Artists with Net Effects. Guys, it's a phenomenal project. It is actually hand sewn bags out of Cambodia that are all done by handicapped people over there, people that have hearing impaired, people that were out digging in trash in order to make a living every day that now have jobs and that are working. Phenomenal product. We have Scott with the Process to Be, Cords of Steel, Cliff, who's created a charger that can do both Android and Apple devices, but it's an all steel cord. In the test, that product is flying off the shelves. Trevor with Gun Bell, wanting to remove illegal guns from the streets. And then Easy on Babies, one of the most innovative baby products out there right now. These are the entrepreneurs. So what do you make your royalties off of? If you get involved in KulaBrands and you start supporting these projects, what you're doing is you're helping each and every one of these inventors make their dreams come true, helping them become successful. And in return for that help, these inventors have committed to paying a lifetime royalty, just like Elvis got paid, just like Michael Jackson, just like the artists and the writers and all these people, a royalty on every single sale of those products anywhere in the world through any sales channel. Through, it doesn't matter if it's sold at a swap meet or a small store or at a major retailer in the US or around the world. So these are royalty based. And guess what? It's not for 3 years. It's not for 5 years. It's for the life of the product. As long as that brand, as long as that product keeps selling, we continue to collect royalties on it. Now, remember, we talked about there's 3 things they need. So we're not just helping them on the money side. We're actually going to help them completely. This is the reason why we're getting royalties. We're also going to help them with branding and marketing. See, the number one reason that businesses fail to exist, so people start them and they don't make it, is capital, cash flow. The money that it takes to run the company on a daily basis and be around long enough to build up a big enough customer base and enough distribution that the company can successfully move forward. And the number one preventer of that is branding and marketing. It is extremely expensive, whether you're using offline television commercials, print advertising. As a matter of fact, if you go to a magazine, they tell you must run that ad 7 times before it becomes effective. Well, if you're going to major magazines, it could be $3,000, $6,000, $10,000 for a quarter or a half a page in these magazines, and you've got to run them 7 times before it becomes effective. If it's a monthly magazine, you're talking about 7 months. Even if it's a weekly publication, you're talking about nearly 2 months for your advertising to become effective. Or television commercials, right? Very expensive to run. Well, then along came online, and online has made it less expensive to market. But guys, you go to an expert in marketing, first thing they're going to say is, I need $2,000 or $3,000 up front. It's going to take a few months. We're going to tweak and we're going to run ads. You're still going to spend tens of thousands of dollars to figure out how to market your product. And you have to continue to spend money to generate those sales and get that up and running, right? We figured out a better way to do that. And the reason why I was able to do this is I've been on that other page, right? I've spent money on TV. I've hired internet experts who basically, after spending $3, $5, $10,000 with them, said, well, if you pay me another $3 or $5 or $10,000, we can run some more stuff and we'll figure it out. We're really close to getting this to work. You see the numbers are improving. And I'm like, wait a minute, I only sold $1,000 worth of stuff on the last $5,000 I spent with you. How can I spend any more money? So I've been in that position, and maybe you're watching this and you're going, yeah, I've been there too, right? Oh yeah, just pay me $3,000. What guarantee do you give me? Oh, we can't give you a guarantee. Have any of you guys ever heard that before? I know I have. So how do we do it? We have a community of people that do the branding and marketing for the projects. And what is branding and marketing? So you might be sitting there going, I don't know how to do branding and marketing. I can't do this. Yes, you do. Every single person watching this that has a Facebook page, that has a Pinterest, that has a Twitter, you are the new marketing power in the marketplace. You sharing an ad. If you've ever taken a video that somebody sent you on a product or on something that a service, and it was funny, maybe they created a funny video, right? And you watched it and you laughed at it. You go, oh, I love this. This is funny. Maybe it's the purple pillow, or maybe it's Squatty Potty, or one of those ones that had some funny advertisement, and you shared that. You literally were doing marketing and branding for them. The difference is you weren't getting paid. Someone else was getting paid for you sharing it. What we thought is why would you pay somebody tens of thousands of dollars? And as a matter of fact, the people that understand how to get you and I to share are literally making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars a year. They're called marketing experts, online marketing experts, and they get paid a fortune for you to go ahead to get us to do this stuff. Why not cut out the middlemen, right? And simply have the people who are sharing it getting compensated and paid through these reverse royalties for sharing it. And that's exactly what we do with KulaBrands. So you might be asking yourself, does it work? On our first project that we did, Zip and Store, over 35 million people have seen it on Facebook right now. It's been on blogs. It's been all over the place. Matter of fact, it had been all over the place so much that an international company saw it overseas and is in the process of negotiating a deal right now with them to help take the project into the marketplace. So, and that's one of the reasons why it ended up raising $152,000 is a lot of people. So what do? We get the reverse royalty. Now we've helped them with money. We've helped them with branding and marketing. But remember, we said there were 3 things that were necessary in order to make this whole equation work, right? To get the project to the marketplace. And that is sales. Well, guys, if you're on here right now, whether it's online sales or whether it's an MLM, direct sales type stuff, you've probably tried them and you've been a part of those. Well, guess what? They do work. $300 billion a year in sales are done through direct sales right now. $300 billion. Me saying, hey, Mom, I have this great product. Would you like to, would you buy it, right? Or a friend or a family member, whatever it may be. And so it's very effective. We do it a little bit differently, though. So don't jump off right now, okay? Because we do it differently. All the other direct sales companies out there are in the direct sales business, meaning they will always, and the only way they sell their product is through direct sales. As a matter of fact, they wear it like a badge of honor, right? We only sell through direct sales. The only way you can get our product. Well, guess what? We don't believe that's the right way to go. See, I believe direct sales is a great way to start selling a product and get it going. But ultimately, the best way to sell a product is through every distribution channel that is out there. And that's what we do. We start with direct sales. Why do we start with direct sales? Because, see, when a company starts, what does it need? Cash flow. How do you generate cash flow? Sales. Wait a minute. If we can get it going very quickly through the direct sales channel, but our ultimate goal is to what? Get the projects on Target.com or in Target, on Walmart.com or in Walmart, or in small stores, selling anywhere and everywhere in the world, on websites all over the place. So on and offline, getting these projects to sell. I want to show you guys some proof of what I'm talking about. So the entire direct sales market, $300 billion. I'm not going to argue with you guys. That's a huge market. Now, literally, that is probably tens of thousands of companies globally that are in the direct sales industry, okay? And the number one, I think, is doing about 18 billion a year. The number one direct sales company in the world. Okay. Right now, I think it's about $18 billion a year. Walmart last year, one retailer, online and offline, worldwide, did $485 billion in sales. That's over 50% higher than the entire direct sales industry. So this is tens of thousands of companies. This is one company. But I want to show you something even more impactful. Number one is still the direct sales industry, about 300 billion. Number two is Walmart, 485 billion. Number three is the global retail marketplace, guys, $26 trillion. And this year, it's expected to go over $27 trillion in there. So if you were looking for an opportunity, which one of these three do you think holds the most opportunity? Number three does, the global. So why not, if we're going to have projects, instead of just trying one or the other one, why not sell it through every distribution channel that's imaginable? And why not collect royalties off of every single one of those sales? This is why it's true residual income, because we're not just getting it when I do it or someone maybe I brought in, or, you know, it's literally any sale that takes place anywhere in the world. And that's the model that we've put together for you. So we take it and we take the entrepreneurs, and we showed you 8 of our entrepreneurs. We have more that we've added since we've done, did that slide. Right now we're up to about 13 entrepreneurs that we've helped bring their projects to the marketplace in some form or phase that it's going from there. And we have about 15 or 20 lined up. I want to bring on right now, guys, one of our inventors. And I'd love for you to hear from him. So Cliff had been in business. He had understood what he had to do in order to get businesses funded and take businesses to the marketplace. And he found KulaBrands, and I think he's pretty excited. We ended up raising over $50,000 for his project on Indiegogo. And these are about to launch this next week. He's had some test orders in, some small amounts that he's been going to some shows. And I'm going to let him share with you some of the results that he's getting. Cliff, buddy.
Look what I'm doing right now. I'm going over to the perks reports from the Indiegogo so we can send out chargers.
That's awesome. All right. So all the people that supported your project through crowdfunding are going to get their chargers, right? They're going to receive for the amount.
Yeah, I know some of the projects I've pledged a year and a half ago. I still don't have a product yet. I don't know if that's happened to anybody else, but I've supported some Indiegogo projects and some Kickstarter projects in the past. But a little bit about my experience with KulaBrands, guys. I've always been good at raising money for businesses, but I've always also been good at giving away the farm when I raise money for businesses as well. In today's climate, you can't go to the bank and say, hey, give me a loan for X amount of dollars unless you've got collateral to back it up and a 750 credit score. You just can't do it. There's no money for startups, even with the SBA. It just doesn't happen. So I've always gone out and raised money from hard money lenders for 12% interest plus equity in your business, and by the time you go through all the little things you forget about and have to raise more money, it hurts you even worse, and you end up letting yourself down to nothing. So I was kind of tooling around on Facebook about a new product that I came up with that was a multi-charger for micro USB and Apple products as well in one cord. And I ran across a gentleman that was involved in KulaBrands named Michelle. He's my hero. And he had talked to me about it, and I'm a skeptic by nature, so it took me about 3 times listening to finally get it, and finally up here somewhere in this wasteland of a brain somewhere, it went click, and I got it. And I said, you know what, this is actually a pretty good deal. So I started talking to the board members and some of the management at KulaBrands, and told them I had a project that was nearly ready for market. We were probably a lot further along than most projects would be because I've been working on it for 13 months already. And I approached them about the product, and they did some due diligence and checked out the product. And man, it's just been an amazing experience as far as from this side goes. There's no way this could have happened without the Kula community. I'm telling you right now, I still would have been raising money. I still wouldn't have prototypes yet. The time it would have took me to get the support from KulaBrands that I've got from them, if I tried to generate that on my own, would have took probably close to a year. If I'm lucky, 9 months, and tens of thousands of dollars to buy email lists, Facebook ads, artificially, what I call artificially, pump up your numbers so then you can go to Indiegogo or go to Kickstarter with a good crowd, because that's the whole key to success. And what's cool about KulaBrands, these people only pledge on their product if they believe in the product. This is nothing like you have an ongoing, buy something every month no matter what happens. If you don't like the Freedom Charger, then you don't pledge for the Freedom Charger. I thought that was kind of actually pretty cool, that those people were supporting me and they say, hey, I want to not only buy your product, but support your product and market your product. And guys, the value and the power that the Kula community has is not, you can't understand it until you get around it. The family atmosphere, people generally care about you. The first batch we had in, guys, they were horrible. I'll admit it. The factory bait and switched us, basically. The Kula community took on the role of basically saying, hey, improve this, 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 and this. Here's what I do differently. We took it back to our engineers. We changed factories. We changed manufacturers. And now we have a product that's awesome. Peter's got one. He still loves it. I hope you still love it, Peter.
Oh, absolutely, buddy.
So what that would have done in the real world if we wouldn't have had the Kula community and we would have got a bad product from our factory, it might be over, guys. We might be out of business, bankrupt. The Kula community is incredible. I can't say enough about it, what they've done for me and my family from inventor side. And you know what? I'm pledging on products myself. I'm supporting the other guys as well, because you know what? I want mailbox money for the rest of my life too. So I don't know. I always get long-winded when I get on these talks. It's all because the Kula community believed in me, and now I believe in them. Trust me. I mean, it's a two-way mutual love affair.
So thank you so much, Cliff. I love having you on here to just share your story, because you say it exactly the way it is. This is a hard road being an entrepreneur, and having a community of people that support you is incredible. So how do you make money with KulaBrands? Well, first of all, you're helping the entrepreneurs. Secondly, we're getting royalties on every single sale that takes place, and KulaBrands pays out 80 to 85% of all those royalties back out to you, the community members, okay? And how is that done? Well, when you help fund, do the reward-based crowdfunding, and remember, we're not investing. We simply pre-buy a product and we receive that product. I pay for it. 3-4 months later, the product shows up at my door. I have the product for the money that I spent, okay? Branding and marketing, simply sharing on our Facebook page, tweeting about things, replying to somebody else's tweet, retweeting somebody else's tweet, replying to somebody else's Facebook post, and again, reposting it, right? Sharing that out to my friends and family members. And then, of course, selling a product. You notice we haven't talked about recruiting here, because remember, our initial goal was to what? Create a business where more people could. We ended up creating one where everyone could. And the reason why everyone can is because you don't need to recruit. You don't have to go out and bring people. You actually don't even have to sell a product. These are optional, right? You can do it just through the funding, the social funding, through the crowdfunding, or you can just do the branding and marketing for these projects and help build points that will end up in royalties. And that's actually how you get paid. So what happens is every project that we put out there has 3 pools. It has a crowdfunding pool, it has a branding and marketing pool, and it has a sales pool, okay? As you help do any of those activity, they earn you points. Could be 1/10 of a point, it could be a full point, it could be multiple points in these pools. And then what we do is we take the royalty, the 80 to 85% that's going out to the community, and we split that equally into 3 different pools. So 1/3 of it goes in the branding and marketing pool, 1/3 goes in the crowdfunding pool, and 1/3 goes into the sales pool. Then we take the number of points in those pools and we divide that into the total number that's there. And that's how we determine how much money you get on a quarterly basis for the activity that you did. And remember, these points are permanent. So when you earn a point, you always have that point. And every time royalties go into that pool, not sometimes, every time, you get your share of those royalties compared to the number of points that you have in those pools. So that's how it gets split up. If you do a sale, not only do you get points that earn you the royalties down the road, you will also get an affiliate commission. And actually on the crowdfunding side, there is a secondary bonus there called our momentum bonus. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail there, but you can also end up getting a small bonus off of doing the crowdfunding when you first initially do that. So now, remember, I said there's no need to recruit. I haven't talked about recruiting at all. However, we are a community. You notice in our logo right up in the top right-hand corner, it says KulaBrands, the launching, branding, and building community. And we need to build this community. And the way we do that is because we want great neighbors, right? And when you build a community, the community is only as strong as the people that are involved in it. And so the best way for us to do that is for people to take people that they know and they have communication with and invite them to be part of the community. And you can actually invite other people if you want to be part of our community. And if you do, and they say, yes, I want to be part of the community, then you get an additional percentage of the points that they earn. So they earn a point, you get 4/10 of a point in addition to the points you've earned. So it can allow you to accumulate more points, which then would pay you greater income. But this is totally optional. You don't need to do it. I'm telling you right now, guys, we will have the only business that I know of on the planet where 100% of, in the home-based business industry, 100% of every single person that participates, crowdfunding, branding and marketing, or sales, any combination of those, that will have residual income coming in on a quarterly basis every single time royalties are paid. So in summary, receiving a check in the mail in the form of residual income is like no other income on the planet. Do some consistent work in the community supporting projects now and be rewarded with royalties for years to come. I'm telling you right now, if I had my choice, I would pick royalties. And you know what makes that absolutely true is I had my choice when I developed the business. That is the way I chose for this business to operate and function. Think about it. Other people are out selling the product. You're getting paid. Other people are out doing the marketing on the product eventually. You're getting paid, right? They need to what? They need to sell products. They need to keep the company healthy. Why? So they can continue to work, continue to do it. The owners are out working. It was so cool this weekend. We had an event in Los Angeles. And I was going through the Facebook page, and you had Cliff that was out at a show selling cords. You had Rob out at a show doing it for Humagenics. These people were set up and they were selling products, and guess what? The other community members were making money off of the sales of those projects. Eventually, we'll have hundreds, thousands of people out there every single weekend promoting products, selling products, and we'll be collecting royalties on them, never setting up at a show ourselves if we don't want to. So the power of this model is incredible. So what do we provide? Guys, we provide every single thing that is necessary for you to be successful here. A back office, a sales portal for you to sell products through. And by the way, it's included in the cost of being involved. There's no additional cost for the sales portal. Social sharing software, no additional cost for the use of that software. We let you use our patent pending business model. We find the products. We bring them to you. We negotiate the royalties. We put everything together for you where all you have to do is say, I want to crowdfund it. I don't want to crowdfund it. I want to brand and market it. I don't want to brand and market it. I want to sell it. I don't want to sell it. It's totally up to you on what you do in the community. Another thing we've created is a Bill of Rights. Right now it has 6 rights on it. These are real rights, guys. A right that says that if you join KulaBrands and you influence, let's say, Sam into the project, if you get involved in something else, you can bring him into that something else, right? That we do not own you like a lot of the other companies feel that they own you. But another right, which I actually believe is even more important that's on those Bill of Rights, is the community holds a permanent seat on the board of directors. And so there is somebody there representing you guys, the community, in every single company board meeting that takes place. So we always get to hear the field, the community's perspective of what should be done and what can be done. And that person is elected to the board on a yearly basis. I believe we're the only company out there that I know that has that set up, because I know that in the companies that I was in, it was those decisions that ended up affecting the company in a negative way that ended up meaning ultimately where most of those companies, or some of those companies, went out of business, and other ones floundered and went from very big successes to ultimate failures in the long run, because they didn't have somebody representing the community or the representatives in the field. You can invent your own products. I mentioned when I talked about Doty and I talked about Len, they both became community members, and they are both community members today. They're supporting other entrepreneurs, and they're getting royalties from other entrepreneurs' projects, and those other entrepreneurs are supporting their projects, and they're taking their products in the marketplace. And they're going to end up being successful inventors, and they're in both of the pools, right? The people that want to make residual income, and in the people that are bringing their projects to the marketplace. And then training. So guys, as I said, I've been in this industry, about 5 or 6 companies that we were able to build pretty good sized teams in, and we're considered a leader in the companies. During that time, I spent a lot of money on courses, how to build a team and how to do this and how to do that. I found that most of the information was very ineffective. And a matter of fact, for most of the people on my teams that bought it, it wasn't very effective at all. We have a course that is included, no additional cost. All these other ones were additional costs for me to get these trainings. With us, this training is actually included in the cost of becoming a KulaBrands member. We have people that are sticking with it and getting it. I can say right now that every single person that's sticking with this training is getting results and building towards having it. We have some people that have brought in one person through this influencing online, and other people that have brought in 20, 30, 40 people off of doing this. And it's included in the cost of being part of KulaBrands. And that is called the power and mastery of influencing. It just sounds cool even, right? So come join us and become part of our class and take the power and mastery of influencing. The cost to get involved in KulaBrands, $249 for an unlimited membership. Guys, $249 a year? That's incredible. Oh, no, it's not every year. It's a lifetime membership. It's a one-time payment. Not $249 a year, but $249 for a one-time payment to become an unlimited member. That means you can pledge on as many projects or on no projects if you want to. You can brand and market all the projects, and you can sell any of the products that we bring to the marketplace, okay? Number 2, we have a payment plan. So if you go, hey, I love to do this, but $249, it's a little tough to do right now. Great. Come in. We have a payment plan, $25 a month for 12 months. All the same benefits of the unlimited plan, okay? And then the third is we have a supporter membership, okay? Supporter membership has a few limitations. You can pledge on one project a month. In order to brand and market, you need to pledge on it. So that carries over there. And you can sell all the products that are out there, and you are not able to influence other people into the community. You're unable to do any type of influencing. You must be an unlimited member either on the payment plan or at the $249 in order to influence people into the community. So those are the differences there. By the way, guys, we have a 6-month money back guarantee. For the unlimited plan, if you pay the $249, and the supporter plan, the $149, this is not on the payment plan, we actually give you a $25 to use in shop for in the KulaBrands store on the shop Kula. And if you do say, hey, I want a refund, and you've spent that $25 from your $249 or your $149, and so you're going to get a refund of $224, or on $124, if you haven't used it, we're going to refund the entire $249 or $149 to you on either one of those positions. So guys, that's our presentation for today. Now I know you're like, wait a minute, that didn't give me all the details. That's okay. We have other videos that you can watch that'll give you the details. We have one that'll walk you through the compensation, how that model works. It'll get into more details on all the aspects of it. Today was really just to kind of give you an idea and our concept of what is their goal to do, to change the industry, to make it to where the home-based business industry, to make it where every single person can earn without ever having to recruit a single person. We've gotten rid of auto ships. We've gotten rid of monthly requirements. We've gotten rid of a lot of the things. As a matter of fact, our company comes with a 6-month money-back guarantee on the membership of what it costs to be involved. We have literally flipped it on its head, the home-based business industry, and we've created a new model that's patent pending that can help build true lifelong residual income because it's based on one-time actions that you get permanent credit for. And so as long as the project that you supported helped through branding and marketing, crowdfunding, or sales, as long as that continues to bring in revenue, you will continue to get paid on that activity, just like it is with all the other people that are in the royalty position. So thank you for joining us today. Have an amazing week, and we will see you soon. Thanks.